Welcome to the Explainer. Today we are getting into gear literally to break down one of the most essential and honestly one of the most misunderstood parts of your car, the transmission.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into why your car even needs a transmission in the first place. Then, we'll dive into the classics, the manual and the automatic. After that, we're going to look at some of the really cool modern tech out there, and we'll wrap it all up by helping you figure out which one might be the best fit for you.
So, let's start with the big question, right? Why do we have this heavy, super complicated piece of machinery sitting in our cars? What's its job?
I mean, think about it for a second. Your engine is spinning at thousands of revolutions per minute, just screaming along, but your wheels start from a complete standstill. How in the world do you connect those two things without the car just lurching and stalling? Well, the solution is a real masterpiece of engineering.
The transmission is basically the ultimate power manager for your car. It takes all that high-speed, low-force power from the engine and cleverly converts it into low-speed, high-torque power to get the wheels turning. Torque is that twisting force, that grunt that gets your car moving off the line. And that's all thanks to the transmission. But it does so much more than that. It's the thing that lets you accelerate quickly. It's also what lets your engine keep running when you're stopped at a red light without stalling out. And on the highway, it allows the engine to slow down and run more efficiently, which saves you gas and reduces wear and tear. It's a real multitasker for sure.
Okay, let's dive into our first category, the classic stick shift. This is the one that really puts the driver in direct control of everything.
For so many years, this little three-step dance was what driving was all about. You push in the clutch with your left foot to disconnect the engine, you move the shifter to select your gear, and then you smoothly release the clutch to reconnect the power. It takes some skill, yeah, and some timing, but it gives you this incredible connection to the machine. And that really shows you the trade-off, right? On one hand, you get amazing control, which is awesome for things like off-roading or performance driving, and they're usually super reliable and cheaper to fix. But the downside is convenience. It's a lot more work in traffic, and, well, you actually have to learn how to do it. Now here's where things get really interesting. Engineers started thinking, how can we get the best of both worlds? What if we could keep the control of a manual, but get rid of the most difficult part, that pesky clutch pedal? And that led to these two really clever inventions you see here. First, there's the IMT, or Intelligent Manual. With this, you still shift the gears yourself with the lever, but a little computer does all the clutch work for you. No left foot needed. Then you have the AMT, the Automated Manual. This takes it one step further. It's basically a manual transmission, but with little robots doing both the clutch work and the gear shifting. It gives you a fully automatic experience, but it's often cheaper to build.
All right, next up, we have to talk about the transmission that made driving easy for millions of people. It became the absolute king of comfort and convenience, the traditional automatic.
So if there's no clutch pedal to disconnect the engine from the wheels, how can the car possibly come to a stop without the engine just stalling? The secret is pretty amazing, and it has nothing to do with gears and plates, but everything to do with fluid.
Okay, to get this, let's use a simple analogy. Just picture two regular old fans, and they're facing each other. Neither of them is plugged in.
Now imagine you plug in that first fan. The air it blows starts to push on the blades of the second fan, making it spin too. Well, the first fan is like your engine, and the second fan is connected to your wheels. A torque converter does exactly that, but instead of using air, it uses transmission fluid in a sealed container. And that fluid connection is what lets the engine spin freely at a stoplight while the wheels stay perfectly still. Pretty cool, huh? So the trade-off here is super clear. You get this incredible ease of use and a smooth ride, which is just perfect for your daily commute in stop-and-go traffic. But on the flip side, you're dealing with a much more complex machine. That means maintenance can be more expensive, and if something major breaks, well, the repair bills can be a real headache.
Okay, now we're going to shift into the modern stuff, where the name of the game is all about getting the absolute best efficiency and lightning fast speed. So first up is the CVT, and it completely throws out the whole idea of gears. Instead of having, say, 6 fixed gears, it uses this really cool system of pulleys connected by a belt. A computer can adjust these pulleys constantly to create the perfect gear ratio for any exact moment, which keeps the engine right in its most efficient power band all the time.
This analogy just nails the difference in how they feel to drive. A traditional automatic shifts through gears, and you can kind of feel it, right? It's like climbing stairs, step, step, step. A CVT, though, is totally different. It gives you this seamless, smooth, uninterrupted acceleration.
It's like you're just gliding up a ramp.
And now, for the king of performance, the DCT. This tech was born in race cars, and it's designed for one thing and one thing only: speed. Now you can find it in all sorts of high-performance road cars, and even some regular ones, all because people want those lightning-fast shifts.
So here's the magic behind it. A DCT is kind of like having two separate manual gearboxes working together. One clutch handles the odd-numbered gears, first, third, fifth, and the other clutch handles the even gears, second, fourth, sixth. So while you're accelerating in first gear, the car's computer has already got second gear selected and ready to go. The instant you shift, one clutch opens and the other closes almost simultaneously. The result? A gear change that happens in milliseconds, way faster than any human could ever do it.
So, okay, we've got manuals, automatics, CVTs, DCTs. It's a lot. With all these options out there, how in the world do you know which one is actually right for you? Let's try to bring it all together.
This table really lays it all out. And as you can see, it's all about trade-offs. If you want pure driving fun and involvement, nothing's going to beat a manual. If you're all about a smooth ride and squeezing every last bit of fuel efficiency out of your car, the CVT is probably your champ. Traditional automatics and those high-performance DCTs are a great blend of convenience and performance, but you might pay for it with higher maintenance costs. And the AMT, well, it's a nice, cost-effective compromise.
At the end of the day, there's just no single best transmission. The right one for you depends entirely on what you care about as a driver. Do you want to feel totally connected to the car, or do you just want to get from A to B with maximum comfort and simplicity? Your answer to that question will point you to your perfect match.
And that leaves us with one last really interesting thought. You know, most electric cars don't even have a multi-speed transmission. Their motors make maximum power instantly, so they don't really need one. But get this, some high-performance electric cars, like the Porsche Taycan, have actually added a two-speed gearbox to get even crazier acceleration and a higher top speed. So, as the engine itself is being replaced, is this the end of the road for the transmission as we know it, or is it just the beginning of a whole new chapter?